Hello everyone, happy Monday. It's time for day 7 of my countdown to Saleabration 2022. I hope you've enjoyed the last 6 days of daily Facebook Live videos showcasing lots of ideas for some of the Saleabration freebies from the 2022 Saleabration brochure. Now today I saved the best for last. This is my favorite product in the Saleabration brochure, and that is the Friendly Hello bundle. Now, this one is a level 2 item. Level 2 simply means that in order to redeem this one for free, you have to spend $120 rather than just $60 for the other items that I showed this week. Now, even though it's a level 2 item, there is huge value. You're getting a stamp set and a full pack of 12 sheets of 12 by 12 designer series paper. And what gorgeous paper it is. You're going to see the paper in a minute. I'm going to show it to you. It is fantastic. I love it. And it certainly has me feeling springy in my studio because the beautiful pastel colors and patterns in this paper is just stunning. So I'm going to show you the paper. I'm going to show you the stamp set. We're going to make a fun fold project, and then I'll show you a few other ideas as well as some swaps that I received that use this bundle. You ready? Let me just pull up my video here on my iPad so I can see who's joining me. Let's see who's here. Come on. There we are. Let's see. All right, we got Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Louise, Jen, Gail. Thanks for joining me. All right, we are ready to go. Hi, Violet. I bet you're chilly up there in Wawa. It was minus 17 here this morning, so I can only imagine how cold it is up there. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera, and we are going to get to it. All right, let me just do what I need to do here. All right, we're sagging a little, so we'll just adjust that a bit. There we go. I think we're good. All right. Oh, I'm glad you've enjoyed my videos, Debbie. That makes me happy. That's why I do them. All right, so Saleabration, as I mentioned, starts tomorrow along with the brand new January to June mini catalog. Now, I can't show the inside of this catalog until tomorrow, but it is a fantastic one. Now, I have it on good authority that most of my customers that I mailed this out to have not yet received it. I didn't mail them, Stampin' Up! Did. And they have not arrived. So I have a couple of things that I'm going to do. Number one, if you are local to Cambridge, starting tomorrow, I will have copies of the catalog and the Saleabration brochure in the bin on my porch. So you are welcome to stop by at any time and help yourself to a copy of the catalog and the Saleabration brochure. For those who are long distance, I have ordered more catalogs, and I'm going to be putting them in the mail this week. I do apologize for the fact that the catalogs have not arrived. Stampin' Up! Mailed them out on the 14th of December, and clearly that's not enough time in this current climate. So I am going to get some in the mail as soon as possible. Okay, I do apologize for that delay. All right, let's get on with it. Hi, Flo. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Julie. All right, so as I mentioned, the Friendly Hello bundle is a level 2 item. I also wanted to mention there is another level 2 item in the Saleabration brochure, so also redeemable with $120, $120 purchase, and that is the Special Moment stamp set. Now, I've been using this throughout the week on various projects. I'm actually going to use it on the inside of the card that we're going to make today. It is an awesome sentiment set, 21 stamps, all kinds of sentiments in beautiful fonts. So it is another one that needs to go on your wish list, okay? It's a great set. All right, but let's talk about today's feature product, and that is the Friendly Hello bundle. So this is a bundle of stamps and designer series paper. You get 12 double-sided sheets of designer series paper. There's 6 patterns or 6 sheets, and I'm going to show you the paper in a minute. And then you also get this 13-piece stamp set, okay? So we're going to play with the stamp set today, and I'm going to show you all this gorgeous paper right now. So here is the Friendly Hello paper. I love this stripe. Love these polka dots. Like, how cute would that be for a baby card? Oh, and we have a multicolored floral, and then there are 3 patterns that have like sort of a solid background with black and white florals, and I love these patterns. So we have the pale papaya, we have Fresh Freesia, and Pool Party. Now we're going to use this paper today. Now when I flip these over, look how beautiful. Like, doesn't that just, like, this makes me think like Hawaiian shirt. Makes me just want to go lay on a beach somewhere. I love this paper. So pretty. And the Granny Apple Green is bright and bold amid the pastel tones. So I love the contrast of that. I'll just show you the patterns on the reverse side. So we have sort of a foliage one. We've got some small flowers. We've got a spatter, a whole sheet of DSP that is spatters. This makes me very happy, I have to tell you. We have a Pool Party and white floral. We're going to be using that today. We have Pale Papaya and white, and we have the Granny Apple Green and white. So awesome. Love this paper. All right, let's set that aside. And we are going to get to our project. So our project today, oh, I just noticed I'm really crooked here. Let me fix that. Our project today, excuse me, is this one. It is a fun fold, just really simple fun fold, but so pretty and really showcases that beautiful DSP. I used 2 different patterns of the DSP, as well as the stamp set and some additional new product. So let's get to it. I'm gonna get out all my bits here. So to start, our card base measures 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Okay, so you're basically just going to take your 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of cardstock and you're going to cut it at 4 1/4. Okay, and then I should turn this around. You're going to score at 5 1/2 inches. Okay, so you'll have a 5 1/2 panel and then a 3-inch panel. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fold along our score line. I should mention that I'm using thick basic white. You could totally do this with regular basic white, but I do like the weight of the thick. I feel like it just has a little bit more substance when it's a card base. All right, so our background panel that's going to go sort of on this inside part here is a piece of that beautiful DSP. It's got the floral on one side and the Pool Party floral on the other. So this is cut to 5 1/4 by 4. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down on the inside of our card base here. Kelly, I love everything about this DSP too. It is so beautiful. I absolutely adore it. All right, so there is our inside panel. The front panel, we are going to use a different pattern. This is the black and white with Pool Party floral, and it's got the cute little bird. So I kind of tried to make sure I got part of the bird, so he was facing upright. This little upside down guy, he's gonna get covered when the card is closed. We'll see him hanging upside down. This paper is designed to not be directionally specific, which is why we have an upside down bird, but that's okay. All right, so this piece is cut to 2 3/4, so 2 3/4 by 4. And again, we're gonna go ahead and glue that on to the front panel of our card. So let's pop that on here and look at me, I'm white on white again. Hopefully that's relatively centered. Oh, and look at that. I even did a pretty decent job of lining it up. I should have closed that. Normally I like to close the flap so that I can line up the edges of my DSP. All right, so that's our base. Pretty simple, right? Now for our extra sort of little card within a card, we have another piece of basic white. Now for this one, I actually used regular basic white just so that it wasn't quite so bulky when I was trying to put it in an envelope, okay? So this is size to 8 by 3 and it's scored at 4 inches. So I'm gonna fold in half. So what I end up with then is a 3 by 4 little mini card here, okay? Now that is going to get glued in the center of our inside panel just like that. We're not going to glue it yet because we're going to decorate it first. Let me just fix that up. That didn't fold straight. It's going to bug me. All right. So to decorate the front of our panel here, we have, first of all, a mat of basic black cardstock. And then we have a beautiful piece of basic white that has been embossed with the new Hive 3D embossing folder. And oh my goodness, it is fantastic. This is going to be used a lot in my studio over the next few months, I can tell. So this one is cut to 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. The black mat is 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and adhere the embossed white to the black. Now I'm going to use liquid glue for this just because this is a super deeply embossed image. And what I find is seal sometimes will tear the cardstock when it is deeply embossed like this, because the cardstock fibers have been weakened significantly by the embossing folder. Hi Karen from Iowa, thanks for stopping by. Let's pop this on. Just make sure that's nicely centered. Okay, isn't that fantastic? Oh, I love that embossing folder. All right, now we're gonna add a little bit of Pool Party 3/8 sheer ribbon. So this is actually in the annual catalog. How many of you even knew this ribbon was in the catalog, right? It's so easy to miss stuff, but this ribbon is so soft and pretty and shimmery. It's perfect for this project. So I'm gonna put this on, I don't know, about, 3/8 of an inch maybe from the left edge of my little emboss panel here. So I'm just adding a glue dot to each end and then wrapping it around the back and adhering it, okay? I am a big fan of not wasting ribbon, so rather than wrap it around and tie it, I would rather use a small piece and then tie my bow separately. Okay, so that is that. We can go ahead and glue that onto the front of our little mini card here. So we're gonna add a little bit of adhesive and pop this on. Now we've got to keep in mind that this is gonna open the opposite way, right? This one opens like a book, this opens like an upside down book. So I want my ribbon to be on the open side. So again, I'm gonna do my best to center this white on white and hope that that's pretty straight, okay? All right, we're gonna glue that in a minute, but first we are going to do a little bit of stamping and some fussy cutting. So I have a rather large scrap of white cardstock here, and I have this beautiful floral stamp from the Friendly Hello stamp set. And I'm going to ink up my floral image. You can use any black ink. I like to use Memento when I'm using photopolymer stamps. I tend to avoid Stays On with photopolymer just because it's really hard to get off. The Stays On cleaner is not so good for your photopolymer stamps, so I just tend to avoid it. That's just kind of my personal preference. The Memento works perfectly well, and for the little bit of coloring that we're going to do, it's not going to smudge or smear. Okay, so there are my beautiful flowers. Now this is a really quick and easy way to color. I'm going to bring in my Pool Party ink pad and a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to start in the middle, and I'm just going to kind of work out along each petal. So I'm not actually going in a circular motion. I'm not doing like ink blending. Normally when you see me use a dauber, it's sort of in a circular kind of way. This is a little different. So I'm starting in the middle each time because I want the middle to be darkest. And I'm just kind of working my way out to the edges of the petals. I'm not really worried about trying to get full coverage. It's just a really quick and dirty way to add a little bit of color to your stamped image without taking the time to, you know, pull out your markers or your blender pens or whatever. And it's pretty. I like it. All right, there we go. Super easy, right? Okay, so now we're gonna fussy cut this out. So we're gonna grab our trusty paper snips. I'm gonna rough cut this first. It's always easier to work from a smaller piece. So we'll get rid of that. And then it's just a matter of cutting out your image. Now I always like to leave a little bit of a white border around my image when I'm fussy cutting. That is really sort of my, my fail-safe. So if I make a mistake, and cut too close, I can always go back and adjust. If you are cutting right up to the edge and you cut too close, you're kind of toast, right? Because you probably cut off part of your image. So that's just my preference. I also like the look of a little bit of a white border. It looks very similar to a die cut, right? Normally when we die cut, we get a little bit of a white border. So I kind of like to try to replicate that when I'm fussy cutting. These images are not hard to fussy cut. They're not super, super detailed. I even cut out the little bird and branch. You may have seen earlier today, I posted a card that I made where I fussy cut the bird and the branch out. They're not bad at all to fussy cut. So again, when you're fussy cutting, cut little pieces off at a time. It's not like you're trying to cut it all in one fell swoop here. Move your cardstock more than your scissors, okay? Your blade kind of should stay fairly stationary, and you kind of rotate your paper around the blade. That'll give you cleaner, smoother cuts. And then of course the other must do when you are fussy cutting is having a good, sharp, fine bladed pair of scissors, just like our paper snips. They are the bomb. I always have a couple sets. I always order a new set as soon as I order 2 at a time. And then when I open a new one, I order another one to replace it. So I always have a couple in my stash just in case. As what happened at Christmas, my husband was wrapping gifts, couldn't find my good snips. Guess where they were? On the gift wrapping table. He'd been cutting all kinds of things with my good paper snips. So it was time for a new pair because my snips are paper only. All right, so there is our fussy cut image. Okay, and then we're going to add a little bit of foliage behind our flowers. You could totally just add the flowers and not worry about adding the extra, but I wanted to showcase a brand new punch that is coming in the mini. It is this one. It's called the Bow Punch. It actually gives you leaves and then these little sort of flower buds, and I love this punch because I don't have to die cut it, right? Super, super, super easy. So we're gonna add, I have some black branches and then some pool party little florals. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a bunch of tape to the back of my flowers here, and that's gonna allow me to arrange my branches. Now I am gonna have to cut some of these shorter because I don't want quite the length that we get when we punch this image. So we're gonna do one there, and we're gonna do one up here, and see how that's kind of hanging out. So we're gonna trim him off. It's more floral arranging, you guys. I know some of you hate it, but I really like it. Now I don't want this extra little leaf here, so we're gonna trim that off. We're gonna put it here. And then one more, we just need a short little bit to kind of hang out the bottom. Oopsie, dropped them. We're gonna put that one down there, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to add a couple of these little sprigs. I'm just gonna use glue dots for these. So we'll go one, oopsie. Okay, that's coming off now. The glue dot stuck to my finger. All right, so let's pop this guy in right about here. Oopsie, the glue dot is still stuck to my finger. It doesn't want to stick to my car or to my flowers. There we go. And then we'll add another one. Can I get this one to stick without the glue dots? Oh, I think I can. There we go. All right, now before we put this on, we are going to, do we need one more? I did cut 3. Sure, why not? We'll put one down here. There we go. Nice and even. So before we actually, you know what, we're going to glue it on and then we'll add our wink. We're going to bling this up with a little bit of Wink of Stella. But first let's glue this down just because it's quite sticky on the back. And if I lay this down, we're going to stick it to our work surface here. So I'm going to add a couple of minis here and there as well, just to make sure my little sprigs stay put. And I'm actually as well going to add a couple of half minis to some of these leaves because they are quite delicate. And if they get caught as we're opening and closing our card, they might tear. So I'm just going to add a couple of half minis to some of these larger leaves. There, whoop, come here you. There we go. All right, so let's peel off our backings and pop this on, and then we're gonna go a little crazy with our Wink of Stella. I love the look of Wink of Stella on black cardstock. It reminds me of our black glimmer paper, which sadly, very sadly, retired. Or actually, I think it's still available. Yes, today is the last day to order from the holiday mini. So the black glimmer paper is still available, but as of midnight tonight, goes away forever. So I am quite sad to see that go. But there we go. There's our little arrangement. Now we're going to bring in our wink. And we're going to add some bling to our black leaves. Now that's the mini that I put on there is sticking. I don't want it to stick yet. So we're just going to add our bling here to these guys. Oh, you do not, we got to take that mini off because otherwise our card's going to stick shut. We don't want that. Let's get rid of that guy. Oh, tore off my leaf. All right, here we go. We're going to tuck it in this way. There we go. No one will ever know, and you won't tell them, right? Okay, so let's just add our winky wank. You won't see this probably on the video, but you got to take my word for it. It's very pretty. You got to get rid of this guy too. There we go. Okay. We are now ready to put this onto our card. So we're going to glue this to the inside panel, centered. Okay, so I'm going to add some Stamp and Seal to the back. And then we're going to center this on the inside of our card base here. Okay, so that when it closes, it's going to look like that. Isn't that pretty? Love it. All right, so the last thing we need to do is stamp our sentiments. So I have here a little die cut label. I know it does look like it, doesn't it? It totally does. I wish I could use that, but it's retiring and I try not to use retired product. But if you guys certainly can when you're making this, punch it from the glimmer paper and you don't have to worry about using your wink. All right, so we're going to use the You Have My Love and Support sentiment from the Friendly Hello stamp set. I'm going to ink it up with my Memento Black. And now this label shape is cut using the Potted Succulents dies. That die set has some awesome label set shapes in it. Okay, so there is my sentiment. And actually, while I have the ink out, I'm also going to stamp the inside. We're going to stamp Hang In There from the Special Moment stamp set, which is that level 2 stamp set for Saleabration that I showed you. So there's our Hang In There. Okay, so now we're just going to add our label to the front. I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals, or one dimensional and a piece of the edge, because once again, I'm out of dimensionals. It seems to be like a daily occurrence with me. I'm constantly running out of dimensionals. I can't imagine why. All right, we're going to pop this on right about there. Okay, and then we are going to add some of these cute classic matte dots. Again, these are coming in the mini, and they come in 2 different sizes. We have larger ones and smaller ones. I'm going to add a large black and 2 small, 1 and 2. And then our last touch is to tie a cute little bow with this beautiful ribbon. So to tie our bow, we're going to make our loops, right? 2 bunny ears, cross left over right, bring it around and through. And this ribbon ties up so beautifully. You get a nice tight knot. Of course, I'm not going to pull it super tight until I'm happy with my loops. It does take a little bit of time to tease your bow and get it looking exactly the way you want it. Okay, don't give up too soon on your bows and think that you're just a bad bow tire. All of us are bad bow tires at first. Sometimes you just have to play with it to get it looking the way you want it. All right, so this guy is going to go on with a glue dot. So let's press the knot of our bow into a glue dot. And then that is going to go just at the base of our flowers there, kind of where our ribbon runs down. Okay, so it kind of looks like it's wrapped around and tied. And that's it. Simple, right? Simple but pretty. I hope you like that one. Let me just clean up my mess here a little bit, and then I'll bring in a few more samples that I've made using this beautiful bundle. All right, so I posted some of these earlier today. So this is one I posted first thing this morning. And there you can see I fussy cut the bird and the branch. Not a big deal to cut at all. And then here's another one that I posted earlier. So this one I really focused on the stamps. There are so many stamps in this stamp set, and it's great for collage stamping. Spatter stamp, enough said. Okay, and then I posted this one earlier with my cute little bluebird. And then here's a book fold. Now this one is using the colored floral DSP, but I actually colored the floral images to make them pop a little bit more. I wanted it to be a bit bolder, so I actually used the same color of light Stampin' Blends as was the color on the DSP. So this is Pale Papaya, Pool Party, and Fresh Freesia. Okay, and then there's the inside. And then I also received several swap cards using this set. So here's a cute one, just a little bit of a different take on the bundle. And I love this one with the beautiful embossing. My voice is starting to go again. I apologize. And then we have this one, lots of spatter stamping. So pretty. I like how they kind of have the reverse, right? So we have the darker spatters and then the light spatters on the flowers. And then one more, really pretty, some beautiful coloring with our little bluebird. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed those. Thank you so much for following along with me during my countdown to Saleabration. Now tomorrow, you're going to want to set an alarm for 7 p.m. Eastern time. 7 p.m. is when I'm going live with my live catalog launch party. You do not want to miss this event. Lots of giveaways, tons of product shares, lots of samples. I'm going to do some stamping. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure you join me 7 o'clock tomorrow during prime time. No video at 5. Okay, so 7 o'clock Eastern time, I'll be live with my live catalog launch party. Okay, one other reminder for those who are in Canada, my designer series paper share for the new mini closes tonight. So if you are interested in getting in on that, you're going to want to click the link that's at the top of this page. It's pasted to the, pinned, I should say, to the top of the page, and will be until tomorrow morning when I'm going to be closing the orders. Okay, so check that out. Get your order in tonight if you are interested in participating in my share. Okay, all right, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow at 7 Eastern time for my live catalog launch party. Bye for now.